It's early Sunday morning, dawn chorus has just started. We've got beautiful orange and blue skies with the birds flying across. It looks like it's going to be a really clear day. Now, today we're going to be on the 5th of our Bristol walks. We're going to be following the course of the Horfield Brook. It starts in St.Judes, where we left off earlier on our Frome journey, and it travels north towards Loch Lees. So we'll be following that, and then afterwards taking in some sights of Purdown, high up, near where the famous telecommunications tower exists. So let's go and have a look. What a crisp, beautiful morning with the seagulls circling around, and you can see up there our old friend the moon is keeping watch over us this morning with the vapour-trails. A quick mention of our favourite coffee roasters supplying us with quality coffee. Well, here we are back again on the course of the Frome, and just a few hundred yards we're going to be seeing where the Horfield Brook joins us and branches off to the north. We're going to follow that today. As you can tell, once again we're not on foot, we're on bicycle, and a brand new bicycle today. Let's see how it fares. Well, here we are, back at the old iron gate again, and below us you can see the channel where the Horfield Brook is now joining the Frome, and this is where we're going to start our journey today. Now at this point here, just north of the Frome, the Horfield Brook goes under the motorway, and we're going to follow that and see where it comes out on the other side. Just for reference, this is one of the old parish boundary markers. There's 1823, and as often the case, they would use a river to mark the boundary, and this is one of the purposes of the Horfield Brook Reserve. So it says St. Paul's and St. Judes, and it also says Bristol Turnpike Trust, so a bit of history here. To admire this rather beautiful bluebell garden the church have put here, and the smell is almost overpowering. It's really nice. We're just going past the appropriately named Brookland Hall and over a little humpback bridge here, and here is the Horfield Brook. Is our first sighting of the Horfield Brook. There's some ducks paddling in it. So Awfully peaceful, isn't it? I wonder what they're fishing for. Pondweed, insects. It's quite deep here, and it's reasonably fast flowing as well. And in the distance, the sound of running water. There's a very small weir there just beyond the tunnel, which is looking south towards its junction with the Frome. Here we are in the Minor Road Park, and it's really peaceful on Sunday morning. There's no one around, just me and the birds. We're just going to follow the course of the Frome along this stone wall here around the back of the houses. Just going to go off the beaten track a little bit here on this little path here, and we're going to look at the last point where we see the Frome, and it disappears back underground again for quite a while. And up there in the trees you can see the famous chimney of the old Brook's dye works that used to be here. And all that's really left of it is the chimney. I'll just go and take a quick look at what remains of the site in a moment. Look at all that lovely cherry and apple blossom. The darling buds of May. Well, as I was saying, this is the last time we see the Horfield Brook for about half a mile. It disappears under the streets here in St. Werburgh's. I'm going to go and find the other end of that tunnel in a moment. Well, you can see all that remains of the old dye works, except for the chimney and a few buildings. It's a big pile of rubble. No doubt be making foundations out of. From what I heard, there's going to be some new housing here, so it's got a good purpose, so you can't really complain. Now, someone was asking me the other day whether Brook's Dye Works was actually named after the brook, but my theory is it's actually named after the family that owned it, and I'm going to look that up on the internet and see what they say. Now, I'm going to carry on northwards through St. Werburgh's and look for where the Horfield Brook comes out again, so follow me. Now here we are in the beautifully named Minster Road. We're just about to join up with the course of the Frome again. I'm just going to show you where it comes across. Against the noise of all the birdsong, I can hear the sound of running water at the end of this street. And there's an iron grating, and beyond it, there it is, the running water. The wonderfully named Ashley Vale in the Lynmouth Road area with these rather peaceful allotments here on a Sunday morning. Now, our friend the Horfield Brook would have originally flowed down the middle of Minor Road, where it was known to cause a lot of flooding and trouble, so what they did is they diverted it further up the hill essentially, under the railway embankment here, and round the back of the houses. It's changed course quite a few times, and you can see as a result of changing course it's got quite a steep gradient as the water's rushing down there on its way to meet the Frome again. Now if you look at this channel here, you can see the way it's essentially been diverted. It used to take a much more direct southerly course of the Frome around the back of these houses. That was when it was all fields, but eventually they diverted it to the left here, into that tunnel. We saw it come out in the middle of Minor Road Park. We've just got time to admire this amazing railway artefact. Now this is a piece of bridge rail which originated from the time of Brunel, and when they replaced it they used it for fencing. As you can see, it's got quite a unique shape, and this is where the trains would have run on top, but they eventually got rid of these rails because they had a habit of falling apart. And we're going to go off the beaten path again to look at yet another railway artefact down here by this fence. Look at these amazing flowers that someone's got growing over their fence. Here we are, next to the boundary of the Frome. This iron post says Great Western Railway Company. Boundary 1883, I guess. So that was about the time that they built the Clifton Extension Railway and all of the earthworks around here. And behind us here is another tunnel under the railway embankment of our friend the Clifton Extension Railway, which we looked at in our first episode. And it goes all the way the other side of Boiling Wells Lane, so we're just going to follow that. Onwards we go, past these beautiful allotments in Linworth Road. We're just going to curve round up Minor Road and meet the Horfield Brook again. Now going into the wonderfully named Watercress Road, and of course there were watercress beds here before they built the houses. And here we are, sheep and their lambs and a few people enjoying the sunset on this amazing Sunday morning. What I love about the spring, those fresh green leaves and the way the sun has really brought out the yellowy green colour of them, it's amazing. Listen carefully, you can hear the sound of running water. And this would be the Horfield Brook beneath this metal manhole cover. Now we're just off to the mythically named Boiling Wells, where we can see the Horfield Brook meeting with another river. I love this little plant pot here they've made out of sandstone. This is Boiling Wells Lane. And above it says, "Vote for Jeremy Corbyn." But will they? Going past the famous Hobbit house with its amazing wooden carvings. Really quite impressive, isn't it? The Horfield Brook is following us under our feet here. Another manhole cover with running water under it. Now we're going here under the railway. The old Great Western Railway originally went to Wales, as it was named the Bristol and South Wales Railway, this was. Now this tells us something. It says this bridge, Watercress Farm, BSW 2 miles 25.5 chains, and BSW, as I mentioned, stands for Bristol and South Wales Railway. And this is the rather wonderful Boiling Wells project that used for community events. It's a nice spot, isn't it? And up here is the railway embankment, and you can see they're doing a lot of work here with that piling to stabilise it, and basically they're adding an extra 2 tracks to cope with more trains, which is pretty good news really. Here's our old friend the Horfield Brook, travelling south again, back into its tunnel. And we're going to head further north towards Lockleath and see where it goes. This really is an amazing part of Bristol. You wouldn't even know you were in a city here. It's just so quiet. Apart from the cows. There's the Horfield Brook, or at least part of it. Now going to be joining the famously named Concord Way up towards Lockleath and Stapleton. This is why it's worth coming out early, because the light is just so amazing. It's really caught the colour of all this spring growth from the trees. Station Road in Horfield, which, as it suggests, there was a station here once on the old Bristol and South Wales Railway, and from what I hear they're going to be building another station here, which is great news for local transport. So we're just following the Concord Way, going north to meet up with the Horfield Brook again. Just admire these rather nice allotments. The apple blossoms and the trees. Very nice. just admiring the Muller Road Bridge here, painted in black and red, which was part of the original railway to Wales, which had been widened in the 1930s, of course, and they're widening it back again as part of the new widening scheme for the railway. We are on the Concord Way again, just about to cross the new bridge which goes over the Horfield Brook. There you can see it, the Horfield Brook flowing peacefully over the stones there. And what is actually quite a deep valley below this bridge. And this really is a very peaceful scene here. The sun just catching the dew on the grass. And I'm so glad I got up early this morning. It was worth every bit of it. That early morning rise at 5 o'clock, but we've just got the lights so nicely. I really hope you've enjoyed coming with me this morning to explore the Horfield Brook. We're travelling north here towards Lockleys, and if we've got time we're going to head up to Purdown and get some amazing views from the top of the hill there. That's about time for a quick sit down, I think, and a sandwich. And I think we're very near to the last point that we'll ever see the Horfield Brook. Because I'm feeling from this point it goes underground, so we're just going to find that point and then carry on north. Now you know it's spring when all the seeds are out. Just look at all that dandelion, it's amazing. Like the Raiders of the Lost Ark to find that flowing river. There we go. Yep, as I thought. Disappears into a concrete pipe, probably never to be seen again. I'm going to look on the map and try and find out where the source of the water is. It's probably somewhere up on Purdown somewhere. Look at that amazing red sycamore tree. Love the colour. It's going to be a simple journey just following the course of the brook, but it hasn't been anything but that. You just keep taking detours onto these side streets, so let's just see where this goes. Oh, the smell of perfume from that tree is just overpowering, it's amazing. We really are going off the beaten track. I've got no idea where this track is going. We're just going to follow it anyway and see where it comes out. You can see this beautiful yellow and black caterpillar feasting on these juicy comfrey leaves. It's an early morning snack. In fact, they look like the same ones that grow on nettles, which means they're probably tortoiseshells, which is useful to know. Famous Horfield allotments, and we really are in the back of suburbia, as you can see here, just surrounded by houses. I can't help but admire this rather nice piece of 1930s, 1920s architecture. Now they could have just left that plain, but they put that lovely little brick feature in the back of what's probably an electricity substation. To be quite honest, I'm completely lost up here in Horfield and Lockleys. Just going to take a quick detour again down another path to see where this goes. I'm guessing this amazing house here with the wisteria on it must have been an old farmhouse, which gives you some idea what this was like before they built the houses. It was all open country, really. Well, you really know you're in suburbia when you've got a privet hedge. They say an Englishman's house is his castle, and the privet hedge is the fortifications to keep the intruders out. Well, it's quite beautiful, I like it. We really are right in the middle of deepest, darkest suburbia here. From what I read in the history books, a lot of these houses would have been built, I'm going to guess about 1930. And quite a lot of them might have been for the factories up in Filton that built the aircraft. I quite like the sort of brick style of them. These little semicircular openings. Right, another detour beckons down another rutted old track here. Just going to look at this old building here. Now this of course would have been part of the old gas works here. There's still gas installations, and if you look on the maps going back to about 1830 when the railway was built, there was actually a gas factory here. to turn to the east. I'm going to head towards Purdown and the famous telecommunications tower, which will come into sight quite soon. We have a really quite a nice view of North Bristol here. And in the distance you can see the cricket ground and its enormous lighting stands. And over there the rugby ground. The Concord Way has actually been extended up here. So it's going to take a quick look. We won't follow the whole distance today. There goes the Sunday morning engineering train hurtling down Filton Bank at full speed with 2 locomotives on it. What a catch. When I first moved to Bristol, not far from here in Lockleys, I was absolutely fascinated by this area because it was just a vast expanse of suburbia which I'd never really seen before, but it just goes on and on and on. All the houses look the same. All that kind of 1930s semi-detached, pebble dashed. Get the sense it's a completely desolate suburbia. There's no shops, offices, pubs, anything around here. It's just houses, houses, houses. And these enormous great electricity pylons bringing the power into Bristol. And here it's just an open vista of these houses in the sun. Electricity pylons, blue sky, birds singing. There's just nothing else up here. And there it is in the background, the famous Purdown telecommunications tower. So we're going to have to double back at some point and get to that point because there's some really nice views over Bristol from there. So let's go. And there you can see Bristol way back in the distance in the haze. You know, we really are in deepest, darkest North Bristol, away from civilization completely. See over the hedge here, the famous Bristol and South Wales Railway as it was originally built by Brunel about 1850 I think, and you can see the amount of digging they would have had to do. There's this enormous cutting that goes on for about 2 miles, and all that spoil would have to be dug out and carted away by somebody. What an amazing engineering feat if you think about it. Now these massive electricity pylons you can see here really give a sense that we're still in the city, because this of course is what powers the city. All this electricity coming in through the pylons. The power of electricity. You can see they've really improved the cycling infrastructure around Bristol. You can go to so many places. There's Lockleys, Filton Abbeywood, Stoke Gifford, Hambrook and Frenchay. And of course Frenchay was quite near to where we were the other day when we explored the River Frome. As you can see, that's 2.5 miles to the east there. So I think we're just going to follow east and try and get back on track again. And that is one of the new impressive Hitachi hybrid electric diesel trains that are going to be running on the new route once they put the new wires up. And up there you can see the Filton Abbeywood station, which serves the new Ministry of Defence establishment, which is just around the corner. Just wanted to admire this rather nice piece of blue brickwork here they built for the bridge, capped with the stone. Now this would have been put here, I think, in about the 1920s or 30s, when they widened the railway in the great reconstruction project they did up here. Actually, we've decided we're not going east, we're going to keep going north towards Abbeywood. From a town planning perspective, we've left Bristol proper really, and we've entered a sort of outer ring of development that happened sort of in the 1980s and 1990s and beyond. There's a lot of new housing estates, a lot of new employers and offices, especially the Ministry of Defence here and the French campus. Well, we found some more running water. I was thinking this could be the Horfield Brook, but it isn't, because it's flowing north, so it probably comes from the high ground, the same springs that was feeding the Horfield Brook where we were back a few minutes ago. I'll have to look on the map and find out what the name of this little river is. To be honest, I feel completely lost in the middle of this enormous shopping centre somewhere in Filton. I don't even know which way north is. Just going to carry on going this way. Yeah, this is just motorway madness. Just watch this. As we missed our turning further back, we're going to have to take another route back towards Purdown if we can. I think it says Lockleys here, 1.5, so let's pedal really fast. And here is the truly futuristic Abbeywood Ministry of Defence building. It really is a piece of early 21st century architecture. I quite like it. You can see these new houses they built here. It just seems the development just goes on and on and on for miles and miles. Peaceful watercourse with weeds growing in it. Probably a great habitat for frogs and dragonflies, I would have thought. When I've got more time, I'm going to try and arrange a tour of these sort of outer North Bristol suburbs, because I can see it's a whole morning's work in itself. Just look at these houses. Sort of chocolate box style. This has to be the very heart of Tory England, I'd say. We're back on track again. I can see the telecommunications tower there in the distance. Now we're just cresting probably the highest point in Bristol, which is Purdown. Look at that view, all the way east and south Bristol. You don't get that anywhere else around here. Start. It's been 100% worth it, because this view is just incredible. I don't remember ever it being as impressive as this. You can see for absolutely miles. And there you can see Eastville, where we were the other day, following the course of the River Frome. And we went behind the church, and we went all the way up there. Now here we have an amazing piece of late 1960s technological architecture. This is part of a vast telephone communication system that spanned the country, with many towers linked on high hills, and it had microwave dishes so it could transmit all the telephone communications and data across the country. Of course it was superseded by satellites, and it's not really used for that much except a few mobile telephones, but Still a great Bristol landmark this is. Well, we're just on our way down the hill, on our way home now. It's been an amazing day out. Thank you very much for joining me. And see you again soon for another episode of our little Bristol walks. Bye.